Guys, welcome back. Are you looking for an alternative for Taco Tuesday? This taco spaghetti will do the trick. It comes together in about 30 to 35 minutes. It has minimum ingredients, and I'm sure you're gonna love it. Meet me in the kitchen, and let's go ahead and get it started. All right, here's what I'm gonna be using today. 1 pound of ground beef, 1/2 of a large onion. I'm gonna dice that up. 1 package of taco seasoning, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of adobo seasoning, 1 tablespoon of pepper, 1 10-ounce can of Rotel diced tomatoes, mild. I'm going to be using a tablespoon of minced garlic. I'm going to be using 1/2 of a package of spaghetti noodles, and I'm going to be shredding up some sharp cheddar cheese and 2 cups of bouillon. Really simple. To a large hot pan, I'm going to go ahead and add my ground beef. I'm going to go ahead and chop that up until all the pink is gone, and I'm going to drain that. All right, once I drain that, I'm going to go ahead and add my chopped onion, which is 1/2 of a chopped onion, and I'm also going to add my tablespoon, about roughly 3 garlic cloves minced, to my mixture, and go ahead and make sure that I give this a complete stir and all the flavors marinate. Once this becomes fragrant and I can smell it, I'm going to go ahead and season the ground beef just a little bit to wake the flavors up. I'm going to add a tablespoon to taste of adobo seasoning, about the same amount of salt and pepper. That's really all you need. You don't want to overpower this with a lot of seasoning because you're going to add taco seasoning, and you don't want that flavors to compete with each other. So just a little bit of seasoning just to wake the flavors up. Once I do that, I want to make sure everything is combined so the flavors marry together. All right, now that we got that done, I'm going to make sure that all the flavors are married. I'm going to go ahead and add now my taco seasoning. Now, you can make homemade taco seasoning with a combination of ingredients, or you can use a taco seasoning packet for this recipe. It really doesn't matter. Once I've added my taco seasoning, I'm going to go ahead and add a 10-ounce can of diced tomatoes, which I've already drained. I'm going to give this a stir. Now, in this particular step, make sure you combine this thoroughly. You want that taco seasoning to get in with all that ground beef, and you want those tomatoes to be evenly distributed. Now, the tomatoes are going to bring the temperature down on your pan. So before you go to the next step, make sure your pan has come back up to temperature. All right, now that my pan has come back up to temperature, I'm going to go ahead and begin adding my dry spaghetti noodles. Yes, I'm going to be adding these dry, and I'm going to make sure that I use about 2.5 cups of stock to cover the spaghetti noodles. Now, I'm going to be using chicken stock. You can use beef stock, and water works for this recipe as well because of the taco seasoning. So whatever you do, just make sure that you add enough liquid to just completely cover the spaghetti noodles. You don't need to go a lot over it, but just make sure that they're barely covered, like at least covered. After that, I'm going to make sure that we bring everything to a boil before we go on to the next step. All right, now that our sauce has come to a boil, this is a perfect opportunity to take a pair of tongs and make sure that spaghetti is not sticking together. Make sure you don't have any clumps in it. Go ahead and separate this. We're gonna do this one other time in this process, but right now, before we get it covered, I wanna make sure that we separate the spaghetti and go ahead and cover this up. Once it's covered, cooking time is going to be about 12 to 15 minutes to make sure that spaghetti is done. halfway through, about at the 7-minute mark. As you see here, I'm just gonna go ahead and go in and make sure again that all those spaghetti noodles are gonna be evenly distributed, that all of them is still in the liquid, and that there's no clumps in the spaghetti. After that, I'm gonna go ahead and recover and continue to cook it for a total cooking time of about 14 minutes. All right, here we are at the 15 minute mark, and this is looking good. Half of that package of spaghetti is perfect. A good even amount of spaghetti and meat is in here. So right now, I'm giving it a stir. I make sure everything is good and combined. And what I'm also looking for is how much liquid is left in there. Now I want to go ahead and continue to cook this uncovered, 3 to 5 minutes until all the liquid is gone. It's gonna depend on how much liquid is left, how long you continue to cook this. But here we are. It's been about 4 minutes, and everything, all the liquid is gone. So now we can go ahead and move on to our next step, which is we're gonna take that grated shredded cheese. Now I use the fresh, not the package for this, because it melts evenly than that. It melts more evenly than the packaged cheese. So that's what we're gonna use, what we need for this presentation of this. So go ahead and use the whole 8 ounces of this. Can't have too much cheese. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna remove this from the heat and give it a cover and allow that residual heat from the pan to melt this cheese. So at this point, go ahead and turn your burner off and go ahead and give it a cover. All right, here we go. This is the finished product. Now, because this is taco seasoning, you can either garnish this with some fresh cilantro. I'm not a big fan of a lot of cilantro, so I'm gonna be using some fresh parsley for this dish. But that's it. It's been about 35 minutes. This meal is quick and easy. Let me go ahead and give it a taste. Yes, indeed. This is perfect. Hey, kids are gonna love this meal. Adults are gonna love this meal. It comes together really easy, and honestly, I don't make spaghetti any other way now. That taco seasoning, taco flavor really brings the spaghetti out. Hey, join me on my cooking channel, cookingwithchefmarty.com. Visit the website. I have cookbooks. And hey guys, I'll see you in the next video.